سيداتي وسادتي، أهلا وسهلا بكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله. اسمحوا لي هذه المرة سنتكلم باللغة الإنجليزية، ولكن مرة أخرى إن شاء الله سندري أن نتكلم بالعربية. It's a pleasure for me to be here and to join you virtually in the convening of the second Arab Land Conference. This past year has brought new meaning to the world crisis. In fact, we have a cocktail of three crises at the same time. The health emergency, followed by a major economic downturn, are accumulating with the environmental crisis that the world has been struggling with. Today's session is therefore timely as we gather to discuss the role of land management in the time of crisis. From the outset, let me set the scene. Is land part of the problem or part of the solution, or perhaps both? How can we create a virtuous line from a vicious cycle? More than ever, the COVID-19 crisis has reminded us of how much we depend on nature for our health and for our wealth. Land is where we live, where we obtain most of the air we breathe, the food we eat, and the water we drink. Land is our largest carbon sink and the place where our terrestrial ecosystems are found. Thus, the way we manage our land also defines the way we can respond to crisis. Be it a health crisis, the climate crisis, the environmental crisis, a humanitarian crisis, land is, in our opinion, an essential part of the solution. As you know very well, the Arab region is extremely dry, and 92% of the region's land is hyper-arid. Water resources are scarce, and 73% of the arable land in the region is affected by land degradation. It is estimated that the economic cost of land degradation in the Arab region reaches $9 billion each year. Exacerbated by the crisis we face today, it is evident that the economic and environmental costs are well beyond the $9 billion. Thus, in these post-COVID recovery efforts, I'm confident that the Arab nations will continue to rely on sustainable land management and land restoration. Because land restoration will not only help address the health, climate, and biodiversity crisis, but also have an impact on other pressing and interlinking issues such as land degradation, food security, job creation, migration, and stability. As you know, UNCCD is here to support you. We are happy that 13 countries in the Arab region have joined our target-setting program to achieve land degradation neutrality by 2030. And we stand ready to support those of you who still haven't joined. We are also working to understand the linkages between land tenure, gender, and land degradation neutrality. And we are exploring ways to promote gender-sensitive measures to combat desertification, land degradation, and drought. As requested by the 197 parties to the convention, we are developing guidance on how to integrate responsible governance of tenure of land into the implementation of land degradation neutrality. I know we can count on you, and we can count on the Arab nations on these efforts. Therefore, we as convention and our convention-driven drought initiative seeks to harmonize and establish public policies for preventing and mitigating drought, essentially through the restoration of the water-land balance. We have been supporting actions in 11 countries from the Arab region that have joined the initiative and encourage the rest of you to follow suit. Dear friends, dear colleagues, we have the scientific knowledge, we have resources, we have the framework for international cooperation through the Convention to Combat Desertification. We can and we must put land and sustainable land management at the center of our recovery efforts and as a cornerstone of sustainable development now and in the future. Let us not waste time because we have a lot to do. I wish you fruitful deliberations, and I thank you very much for your attention.